How's it going, bros? It's me, Mario. Good times on global citizens, and welcome to this new video of Gladly Global, the YouTube channel where we teach you how to learn multiple languages and how to go abroad. I bumped into the mic. So what's up, people? I'm back. After months of self-doubt and never believing that I was enough. Finally, spring is here, and with it, my motivation to actually do stuff. Great intro. So, today I'm speaking about a topic that you guys voted for on the Discord server of Gladly Global. The link is in the description if you want to join the community. We do content votes, but also we exchange tip resources. It's a cool way to spend time and study with other people of the community and just interact and have fun with each other. Alright, so it's time to introduce you to the wondrous world of language note-taking. So this is a special topic for me, and I'm very excited to speak about it because I feel this so much. Like, I have a strong passion about language note-taking. Only thinking about it makes me happy. Every time that I start a new language, the thing that I'm most excited about is not actually being able to communicate with other people. The thing that I'm most excited about is to be able to take language notes for a new language. Like, this is something that for me is very special. I hope I can give you a little bit of this excitement in this video. So here we go. The thing that I've been told the most every time that I speak about language note-taking is, why do you take notes if all the information is already written on the textbook? So I'm just gonna show you something. Are you ready? Look at my beautiful leopard skin socks. Okay, let's go. This is the amount of books that I had to study when I was studying Japanese at university. I can sit on them. And this is the amount of language notes that I took that contains all the knowledge that is in those books. I don't know if the concept is clear. Language note-taking allows you to select the information that you actually need to study and put it in your notebook, while all the other information that you don't really need stays there. You can still find it in the future if you want, but if you're going abroad, for example, if you're studying a language and you decide to go abroad to have a working experience or a studying experience abroad, do you want to take with you all of those in luggage? I don't think so. You want to take a notebook with all the important things that you want to remember with you. For example, as this was the low-level Japanese that I had studied, actually all of this is in my mind already. So when I went to Japan, I didn't even bring this with me. I just brought this one. This was like my Bible. Like, I couldn't go anywhere without it. I'm afraid of opening this up because all of this will bring back all the hours and hours that I spent studying. But let's do it. So the first tip that I want to give you is to separate things in a way that you understand and that it's effective for you. So for example, I will tell you how I do it, but maybe this doesn't work for you. My personal preference is to have a notebook for all the grammar or grammar-like expressions that I learn, while for vocabulary, I prefer to have a digital database. This could be, for example, a Notion database. I know that some people do that. For me, 100%, 1000%, I prefer using Anki, because Anki is also an application that lets you study flashcards as well. So I prefer to insert all my vocabulary there. While you're inserting vocabulary, you're also studying. And then not only you can study the flashcards, but also you can research in your database specific words. It's like your personal dictionary to a degree. So this means that whenever I take notes, if I have, for example, a chapter of a book to study, I will make sure that I understand everything that is explained in that chapter. You don't want to take notes as you go. You want to have an idea of what you're learning first. So I think that I do when I'm in the process of studying a chapter of a book, for example, is that I will highlight maybe words that I want to insert in Anki, and maybe like highlight other expressions that I want to write down, make little post-its for the information that I need to write in my notebook later, make other lists of other words and stuff like that. So then later when I go back and I start to write the notes, I already know which information is the information that I want to extrapolate. Is that an English word? That I want to take out from the book and have in my notes. Second tip, how to actually take language notes. So you know I am a very enthusiast fan of lists. Maybe you saw my other video about note-taking, where I explain how I use lists to take notes, but that's basically what I do even with language learning. Of course, lists of vocabulary, that is like when you're doing the database in Anki, for example, that's a list of words that you're gonna learn. But when you're actually writing down grammar tips and things and similar things, it's very good to not write like a paragraph. You're not writing a book. You need to be able to go back and understand what the frick you had written. So it's very good to have maybe some things written all in caps so you can see them easily in the page. And another thing that I do is using color code, so some things will be highlighted, but it's always like in this kind of like schematic listy way. If, for example, a grammar point has more than one use, maybe like it means different things, it's good to have them highlighted one after the other and have them very like separated very much. Also, always write down example sentences, especially if it's a language that is not so close to your native one or other languages that you know. Writing example sentences can help you understand 1,000 times better how things work. About lists, I want to add one little thing. Keep pages free and blank. So maybe if you have to add something later, you have space. For example, this is how I took notes for Korean particles. This is like, I just wrote them all in the same page. This is not how it was in the textbook. They were all like scattered around. And for me, it's just way easier to have them all on the same page so I can compare them with each other and not get confused if some of them are similar. And now my favorite tip, which is make it fun. Use colors. I may have a little bit of an addiction for stationery, but you don't have to be like me. You can just have like, I don't know, one pen, one marker, one pencil, I don't know. But for me, like my life is happier if I have different colors and different, you know, inputs to my notebook. I don't know how better to express this than it makes my life colorful and happier. Always remember that your notes have to be understandable for you and you only. You're not making a textbook that has to be understandable for everybody in the world. You're making something for yourself. So don't be afraid of using all the stickers and post-its and colors and whatever. Like you can draw stuff. Wait, I think I draw something like, yeah, I draw young here. Like who cares? It's your notes. You're allowed to be creative and do whatever you want. The last tip that I want to give is don't be afraid of reorganizing, because sometimes we studied for a couple of months and what we wrote was not completely clear, and we already know it, so we don't need it anymore. So don't be afraid of going back and maybe like changing some pages. This was like the notebook that I had for Korean when I was studying at university. I don't like it anymore. It's too gray and monochromatic. I hate it. That's why I'm making a new one with the information that is there, but organized better. So don't feel the pressure of always doing the right thing the first time. You can always go back and reorganize, change it up, add colors, add stickers, okay, you can do whatever you want. And to be fair, making notes from your notes is also good, especially if you need to take a test or if you have certification exam or something like that. Even if you have your notebook with all the notes that you took, it's probably a good idea to even further condense everything again. So when you're actually studying for the test, you only have a few pages to look at. You know the feeling when you're going through everything like 5 minutes before the beginning? Yes, that is why you want everything condensed. Is it only me? Alright, I think that was it for this video. These are all the things that I could think of. If something else pops to mind, I will probably make a part 2 of this video. But I invite all of you to write some comments down below if you have more tips that you want to share, or if you want to criticize what I said. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't like note-taking, you think it's useless. I want to know your opinion. I will never change my mind. But it's interesting. So if you want other language learning tips, make sure you check out our playlist where we have all the videos about language learning. And why not? Follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all the other social media. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you soon, babies. Have a good day. Bye!